The future of USA Rugby is here, and it is here in Erich and Dom. We've introduced you guys. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I suppose, first of all, boys, let's get a straight reaction of how good was that feeling, getting that win against Spain, getting that 3 from 3. I'll start with you, Erich. How was the boys afterwards? It must have been some fun times on Saturday night.
Yeah, I think going 3 for 3 was definitely special. The vibes were up all tour, and I think, finishing off that way, getting one more win was huge for the boys, huge for the whole entire, vision of USA Rugby, and it was definitely a good way to end that tour.
Just to add on to Erich, I mean, it's great to see our hard hours paying off. And the tour is especially more enjoyable when you're winning. And coming off the PNC, a few losses there, it's great to see that our group is good at applying what we learned from those losses and putting them into these games. So I think that's the best takeaway I had there.
And obviously, both of you coming in off finishing sort of a college season, rolling into the summer, time with the Eagles. Just talk to us about the difference between maybe your collegiate environment to coming to this Eagles and what it's like being a part of this campaign.
Yeah, I mean, through St. Mary's, it's something that I've said before, but it's probably the closest thing you can get to a professional environment while being in college. We're training as much as we possibly can, 4 to 6 times a week. We have 4 lifts a week, plus classroom sessions. So it's definitely a step up, but it's also kind of a step to the side in that we know how to train. We know how to make our hours in the day worth it, so that when we get to the Eagles, it's something that we're prepared for.
Now, Erich, I want to know, though, a little bit about the fact that you guys know each other so well. The fact that you talked about St. Mary's. I want to know any bad habits of Dom. I want to get straight in here. We're being too nice at the moment, guys. Let's just level it out and just say, what's the most annoying thing about each other? They must have spent too much time with each other.
No, I think we're both going to school in Moraga. It's a pretty small place, right? So you spend a lot of time there, and then I think now we're fresh off of rooming with each other for 3 weeks. But no, Dom's a great kid. Works his tail off, works harder than anyone I know. So just always getting after it, whether it's rugby, whether it's watching film, whether it's recovery. And it was a very enjoyable 3 weeks for me rooming with him.
Dom, come on, this is your moment. You can put it to bed.
Erich Storti, future politician, post-retirement, he's ready.
Come on, Dom, give us some stuff on it. Let's go. What's Erich to you?
No, I mean, Erich's an inspiration to me, whether it's on the field or off the field. I've got nothing bad to say about the guy. He lives a really loose life, both on and off the field, and I don't have any critiques of him. I've always looked up to him, since I came to school. He's someone that I've wanted to play like, I've wanted to be like, and I've got nothing to say about the guy. You're not going to get it out of me.
Well, all right, let's get a little bit, we'll keep with the banter a little bit, and I want to know a few things. Okay, both collegiate standouts. All right, let's make the case. Who has got the better collegiate career? Who we putting it on? Dom's got one more go. Erich's obviously #1 draft pick, finish on a national championship. Make your case. Tell me who's got better grades too. I'll take that as well and wait it into the decision.
Let's go, Erich. Come on, you're up.
I got to give it to Erich. He played 5 hard years at St. Mary's. Probably has the most playing time ever at the school. He played his butt off. He led well as a captain. And then in school, he's got a great degree. He's done everything he can to really inspire people. So it worked through me, and I don't think my college career wouldn't be where it is, and my career in rugby wouldn't be where it is if Erich didn't have his career.
I don't know. I feel like it would be bad if my career ended up being better. And I talked to my little brother about this too, but it's like we had COVID, right? So that's 2 years automatically, no national championships, nothing like that, where we had 2 really, really good teams. So only 1 national championship over 5 years. And I'm really, really hopeful and excited for the Gales this year and next year. So hopefully, Dom can finish his off with a few more rings than I did.
Oh, well, you guys are so humble, so nice. Yeah. But let's talk about you talked about the national championship, Erich. I mean, this year, 2024 has been off the charts good for you when you think about it. National championship with St. Mary's, and then #1 draft pick, and then this Eagles cap as well. Can you just summarize for us how amazing this year has been for you personally?
Yeah, it's been quite a year. super fortunate with the people I have around me. Coming from obviously a program like St. Mary's with Tim O'Brien, kind of having him in your on like being under his wing and him guiding you throughout everything helps a ton. And I just, everything played out the way it did, and I was really, really happy about it. Super fortunate to be put in some of those opportunities and having shown well and getting invited back to certain things. And I'm just really excited and can't wait for the future.
And, speaking of the future, you two are the prime example of like what we're trying to achieve on this run into 2031. The new pathway, collegiate rugby's uptick, drafting into the MLR, merging with the Eagles. Like, obviously, Dom, you touched a little bit that Erich has inspired you, but do you guys have the ability to reflect and see how you're probably going to inspire a whole nother generation to follow you on that pathway in that build up to 2031 and beyond?
Yeah, I think I'm not typically one for labels, and being labeled as I guess like a star or USA Rugby's future it's a bit of a wrestle for me, but
we'll do that. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll hype you up. Stay humble though. Don't stay humble.
Yeah. No, it's the best thing that comes out of it is seeing that we are inspiring people and that people do think that of us. Coming back here, coming back to school, coming back to my club, Danville Oaks, it's amazing seeing these young guys and they actually have people to look up to, and it's just pretty cool knowing that you're part of that group and that you are really, really inspiring people, because that's one of our main goals with the Eagles is to inspire this younger generation so that they have a pathway that they can follow.
I was going to agree. I think something for me, it was like thinking back to when I was coming into college, like the people I was looking up to, right? And I had like Pete Lepetti, Peyton Talea, all those guys. And it was like kind of without realizing it, like now I'm an older person and there's younger people below us. And it's like, oh shoot, like I'm doing that same exact stuff they were doing. Like, and it kind of pushes you to like, work a little harder, be a better example. And yeah, hopefully it keeps going in that direction.
I want to just ask you, Erich, in terms of like, again, that direction of you're going to Anthem, of course, Major League Rugby side, going into their second year. The excitement that you have with that move, but also like it continues your development with USA Rugby, the connection between Anthem and USA Rugby. Scott will be keeping a very close eye on you. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but regardless, Anthem, how excited are you for your first year of Major League Rugby?
Yeah, I'm really excited. And I think one of the big things was the similarities between the culture there and the culture of St. Mary's. And the vision of Anthem in itself is something where it's like invest in your players, like get as many, American players as possible in that system. And like, that's the only way to grow the game is by playing those meaningful minutes. And, I really agree with that vision. It's something that I'm excited to be a part of. And honestly, I just can't wait to get to work. I think we've got a lot of talented players coming in. So I'm excited to get to work with all of them and learn as much as possible as well.
And Erich, just follow up, obviously #1 draft pick, comes a lot of sort of notoriety. Do you feel any sort of pressure? There's a few pretty well decorated players in that category as well that have followed you before. Just touch a little bit on that, on the expectation that might be put on you coming into this debut MLR season.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not necessarily pressure. I think like I'm really just focused on controlling what I can control. Going in, putting, my best effort in each and every day. Not skipping any steps necessarily, but kind of working from the ground up and doing everything I can to contribute to whatever Anthem's team goal is going to be next year. So I'm just excited to help out any way I can.
Oh, such a humble dude. Hey, look, there's a factory of players that are coming through St. Mary's, aren't there? I mean, obviously, Ponokashi, he's going to be playing in the MLR next season.
Junior Wakabesi.
There's numerous guys that's coming through. It just feels like the factory of USA talent is coming through St. Mary's. Dom, obviously, you're still part of that. How do you feel, just in terms of still being at college, your aspirations, of course, wanting to try and get to the MLR as well? It must be weird for you, I suppose, going now from international rugby back to the college system. Some big full classic games coming up for St. Mary's as well. So, how's your sort of headspace with all of that?
Yeah, I think as to speak to your first point, as far as like why a lot of St. Mary's guys are involved with USA and why there's a lot of good things coming out of St. Mary's, I think it's mainly because of our no egos rule at St. Mary's, and it's something that aligns with the plan for USA Rugby is good people while also finding good players, but stressing the importance of good people, no egos. Because that way you can really focus on your craft and always be trying to get better. You're always being humble. And I think also just there's so much credit due to St. Mary's and Tim O'Brien, and anyone you ask about St. Mary's will credit everything to him. He's like a father to all of us. He's the genius behind all the master plans and gets us all the games we need to be becoming better. So that's the important thing there. And then as far as like our fall classic comes, we have a pretty good season coming up. We have talent won't be the thing that's going to stop us. We have a very talented squad. So we're just going to be looking to getting the work in and just putting our heads down as much as possible.
And Dom, obviously, you've been playing sort of senior rugby with the Eagles, and still playing collegiate. Have you felt any pressure to come to the MLR sooner or try and go pro earlier? I know in a lot of American sports, it's obviously a bit more financially viable that's a decision that players have. But with someone who's probably had, the experience you've had and proved where your sort of rugby credentials are, in this autumn nations, does that cross your mind at all that, you could come sooner?
Yeah, it's definitely crossed my mind. Just about every person I come across has asked me that question. It's something I wrestle with daily, and it's something that I'm still trying to figure out for myself. I really don't. I don't know, what the best path might be. So I'm just kind of taking it day by day. Keep learning. Keep getting better and figuring out, where that is. So it's something that I still wrestle with. And to be honest, I'm really not sure.
Well, I'm sure you'll be making the right decisions, my man. I suppose I want to almost like finish this off, round it off, going almost back full circle with USA Rugby, and that you guys are number 15 in the world now, and obviously you're looking to the future. Scott Lawrence is looking to the future as well. I want to know, is there a discussion about World Cup 2027 qualifying for that bit by 2031? Is there a discussion where do we want to be in the top 10 or something like that in terms of world rankings? What are maybe these big future goals that you guys have got?
Something Scott kind of publicized was the Moonshot 2031 plan. And with that being winning a quarterfinal in 2031, and it's kind of worked backwards from there. Like, how are we going to be in the best position to do that? And obviously 2027 is a big year, and something we really want to attack as an opportunity. And I think it's just building each and every camp. And like Dom said, from the PNC to now, is like what mistakes we're making now, like how can we fix those, and how can we be better players, be a better team, and continue to build this program.
It's not about the big steps, it's about the little steps and just slowly climbing the ladder, as far as if that's rankings or it's on a personal level. We had a lot of focus on performance focus, and knowing how to get better and how to be really locked in for the game. So that part of that is knowing when to turn off, but also when you really need to just lock in, turn on, strap up your helmets and get ready to go. So we're taking really small steps so that the big steps don't seem as big. And I think a lot of that comes from Scott's plan, the Moonshot 2031, like Erich said, working backwards and just taking little steps towards that goal.
And, following on from goals, I always think as a player, it's very important to have goals. I'm sure with the success you guys are, you have goals. Erich, what are your goals for this season coming in, MLR, maybe summer tours? Same with you, Dom, with obviously college and then potentially back with the Eagles. Just some of your personal goals or what you're trying to aspire to achieve in this maybe upcoming year.
Yeah, I think personally for me, one of my goals is obviously like going into Anthem, not having won any games last year, is definitely get a win. That's one of the first ones. And, hopefully that's not the goal, but that's just kind of like what we get early on and keep building off that. But I know when I get there and I kind of learn more about the team goals and how I can contribute to those, I think that'll dictate a little bit more of my individual goals. But just want to keep getting better and, keep growing my craft and trying to see, how much rugby I can learn in a year.
Yeah, for our goals, I mean, obviously it's to repeat. We want to get back to the national championship as a school in St. Mary's, and I think on an individual level that plays into my role that I'm going to be on the team this year, and it's working on my leadership, especially being a leader who's others oriented, doing what I can to make the team the best. But as far as this year goes, winning that national championship with St. Mary's, and then hopefully having a great summer tour, if that's what's in the future for me. Taking it back to a personal level, on the rugby level, just doing what I can to improve my game so that I can help the team in the best way possible.
Love it, boys. Really appreciate you coming on the Rugby Rundown. We are going to be keeping a very close eagle eye on you both. Thanks so much, Eric. Thanks so much, Dom. Wishing you well for 2025.
Good luck with everything, lads.
Thank you guys very much.
you.